going to try to recreate the pear cherry cheese crumble from the Jolly Holiday Bakery. It's first thing in the morning and I'm baking pie. Now I am taking a few shortcuts. One shortcut, and that is I'm going to use pre-made pie crusts. I also have small tart tins. You can use a whole pie and just increase the bake time, or you can use a large muffin tin and make little muffin size ones, but probably decrease the baking time. Also for the ingredients, I have what I need to make cream cheese filling, which is cream cheese, sugar, sour cream, and a room temperature egg. That's important for beating. I have spiced pears that I cooked down earlier in the week. I'm gonna cook these pears down with some brown sugar, cinnamon, and a little bit of lemon juice. 2 tablespoons. This is probably 3 pears worth of pears. I'm gonna add half a teaspoon of cinnamon to start. We'll get these on low and slow till they're bubbly. I have a can of cherry pie filling. And then I also have the ingredients to make streusel, which is just flour, sugar, butter, and cinnamon. We do need a mixer. If you have a hand mixer, that's fine. If you want to mix it by hand, that's fine, but it'll be tough because cream cheese is a little bit harder to whisk. That's everything we need. My oven is preheated to 375, so we're going to start by par baking the pie crust. Anytime you're baking a pie with a wet filling, you want to pre-bake your pie crust because you don't want a soggy pie. And then when that is baking, probably gonna bake it for 10-ish minutes. While that's baking, we'll whip together our cream cheese filling and our streusel, and we'll get these babies in the oven. A lot of the key to baking is the temperature of your ingredients. Sometimes you want your ingredients really cold. Sometimes you want your ingredients room temperature. For the pie crust, you want it to be slightly warm so that it's pliable. But if I were making a pie crust from scratch, I would want ice cold hands, ice water, ice cold butter. It's all about cold when you're making pie crust from scratch. I'm just gonna spread it out a little thinner because the thickness of the pie crust makes sense for a whole pie, but with small desserts, you really want thinner crusts for a better ratio. All right. I am going to use this as the guide, and I need 1 inch or so of crust for the edges. Let's see if this works. Like that. That might be too much. We'll just re-roll any excess we have. All right, check it. I'm not used to baking with nails, leaving little nail marks on the pie crust. Okay, we definitely went 1/2 inch too wide on the edges, but that's okay. I'm just gonna press down, and then all this excess will get re-rolled to the next crust. Do this 6 more times. It's gonna be a stretch. Let's see if we can do it. Get more extra off. All right. Pie crusts are in the oven. I have this much left over. I'll probably just dust them with cinnamon sugar and make them into like little cookie bites. Let me know what you like to do with your leftover pie crust scraps. But now we're gonna make the cheesecake filling. Hopefully it can be done in 5 minutes, but it's just a block of cream cheese, softened at room temperature. Super squishy. That's important. I don't want to touch it, so I'm about to drop in. Perfect. Okay, 1/2 cup of sour cream. 1 egg. And a touch of vanilla. I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. That would have been crazy. I almost forgot the sugar. 1/3 cup sugar. All right, our partially baked pie shells are out of the oven. They definitely look partially baked. I kind of want them to be a little more baked, so I am going to do them the full 10 minutes. Our cream cheese filling mixture is done. It's a little lumpy, and that's okay. That just means my cream cheese could have been warmer. Let's make the streusel. So the streusel is just sugar and flour, and then melted but cool butter. It's important that your butter is not hot to the touch because you don't want to melt the sugar. You want this to be clumpy. Streusel should have clumps. And again, we don't want to overmix this because we're not making cookies, we're making crumb. So we're just going to gently toss until all the flour is wet and lumps start to form. I personally love the big lumps of streusel the best, so I like to try to maintain a few large clumps. You know what, I think I'll add a touch of cinnamon to this. Maybe a 1/4 teaspoon? Maybe less. Okay. Sandy, clumpy, and fully incorporated. Our streusel is ready to go. Now we just need our pies. Now for the pears, I will say I overcooked my pears. I was working on a puzzle and I forgot to check on them. Okay, open it. So you want your pears to be a medium color, not this dark brown caramel that I have. Here's my overcooked spiced pears. Here's what the pears should look like in the pie. Golden and shiny and shimmery. Much better. There's some visual signs of doneness in the color change here. So we're gonna fill these pies, and a whole pie would bake for about 45 minutes, but because small pies have much less depth to penetrate, I'm probably gonna start these at 20-25 minutes, and I'll be sure to give you the full time. So we are gonna try scoop, 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 scoop. And I have about this much left, so I could probably give a half scoop more to each pie. Pear. Well, that's going to be too much pear in the first few. And then I'm just going to swirl that in. Make sure we get pear in every bite, and right now it's mostly in the center on some of these. Okay.
The TV show had to restart something.
Because you fell asleep? Yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab a new spoon. There's a little bit of cherry peeking up through the top. I feel like the cherry really is in the center, so I'm gonna put the cherry in the center. Pear, cherry, almond are my mother's favorite dessert flavors. So, and lemon. I'll be sure to share this with her. All right, and then we're just gonna add the rest of the cream cheese to fill it towards the top and try to make it pretty. Put it around the cherry, so it's kind of like a cherry center. This one is over the edge of the crust, unfortunately, so she's not going to be as cute. This one's good. Final touch. Scoop a streusel on every one, and the streusel's on, it's like half streusel, half pear with cherry in the center. My pears are not pretty enough for a topping, but I can do the half streusel look. Let me just clean up my spoon. That's a huge clump of streusel, and I'm excited for it. Okay, back through and add more. Just a mixture. Okay, not the prettiest thing I've ever baked, but ooh, it's complete. And it has the flavors. Really want to bake these thoroughly until that cheesecake has fully set. Think like regular cheesecake baking. A little jiggle in the middle, no jiggle on the edges. So we're going to start these at 25 minutes and then we're going to check on them. They could go up to 40 minutes. I don't think they'll take as long as a full pie to bake. All right, these are fresh out the oven. I ended up doing 35 minutes. You can tell my cheesecake started to brown on top, but I really wanted to make sure that they were going to be firm when you cut into them. Now we just need to let them cool. I have a little confession. I was gonna eat this one all to myself and I realized I forgot to show you the first bite. So let's try this pie. If you can't tell it's good by the fact that it's half gone already. High effort. Totally worth it. I'll see you next time we bring a little park magic to our kitchen.